VESS.
So mindful eating means eating with a present mind. It means being completely immersed in your eating experience so that you can be 100% conscious of your feelings, your hunger cues and satiety cues, or other physical feelings, your emotions, and how what you're eating and how much you're eating is affecting you and also others. When you become so conscious of your eating experience, you then empower yourself to make decisions that are healthy for you rather than allowing yourself to be controlled by an automatic pilot of eating or by your emotions such as stress or happiness or anything that could affect how you eat. That is mindful eating. So the VESS model and mindful eating connect basically in two ways. The first is that the VESS model has as two of its principal objectives, developing a life with balance and with meaning. In terms of balance, because mindful eating is empowering an individual to make healthy, sustainable decisions, I am triggering the ability to have a balanced life. So that is the first way. And also when I am making the individual conscious of why they're eating, how that is affecting them and others, I am giving sense and meaning to the act of eating itself. And the second way that the VESS model and the concept of mindful eating connect, and to me it's probably the most powerful one, is that the tools, the thinking tools that the VESS model uses to develop habits of mind are the same tools that are going to allow me to develop habits of mindful eating. So the theory of constraints or talk, the visible thinking, the thinking keys, all of these tools are going to develop in me also habits of mindful eating. The main opportunities that I've recognized through the implementation of a mindful eating program in an educational setting, particularly in a VESS educational setting, is that when you give teachers basic information on nutrition concepts, they're able to then take all of the knowledge they have on education and on educational tools, particularly the VESS tools, and they're able to really enrich the mindful eating program by doing what dietitians or nutritionists haven't been able to do by themselves because they don't have the knowledge of how to educate or how to teach. So they're able to really get to the student with these mindful eating and healthy nutrition concepts and really make them part of the individual and their habits. So for the first time, I'm seeing that we are able to create change in the communities or the schools that we work with because we're merging two very different areas of expertise, education and nutrition, and really bringing the best of both of them to make healthy habits a reality for the communities that we have. So when it comes to the accomplishments that we've seen through the implementation of a mindful eating program in our schools, the first thing that I have to celebrate is that we are seeing children actually try foods that they have never tried before and that we were not expecting them to try. Particularly, we're working with vegetables, which is one of the main foods that you always want to promote when it comes to nutrition, and that is one of the hardest foods to promote with children. So we're seeing that children are very eager to try new foods, and they're actually implementing them into their diet to the point where parents are coming and thanking us because they're seeing their children eat foods that they would have never chosen before. And this is a very important time in their lives to create not only habits but tastes, and when they are exposed to these tastes and accepting them, it means that we're very likely to see this occurring for the rest of their lives. So that's a huge accomplishment. Another accomplishment or celebration that we have after implementing the mindful eating program is that children are recognizing needs versus wants when it comes to food. So they're being able to say what is a need in terms of food, what's healthy, and what is more of a want and something that they can eat once in a while but they do not need. And they're also being able to extrapolate this needs versus want concept into other aspects of life, which is also very powerful. Something else that we celebrate and that we're very happy about is that children are the ones that are many times taking healthy eating and mindful eating to the home versus being the parents that are constantly trying to make this happen. So we're seeing children asking parents for healthy food. We're seeing children question parents about why they have certain foods or certain habits at home, and parents having to change their habits or the foods that they're offering because children are being made not only exposed to these foods at school, but they're being made conscious of why these foods are important. And so they're expecting their parents to do this too. And finally, and for me one of the most important things, is that we're seeing that teachers feel empowered to bring nutrition concepts and nutrition education into the classroom, which they did not before. They always asked for information. They always were excited and eager to educate children on nutrition, but they didn't feel ready to bring these concepts into the classroom because they weren't aware of the correct information. So by giving them nutrition education themselves and exposing them to what mindful eating is and how to apply the tools that they already have to mindful eating, they're actually bringing it and creating nutrition education programs that are very powerful in their classrooms. When it comes to questions about the implementation of a mindful eating program, teachers are usually the most concerned with basic nutrition concepts. So when you educate them about what are the healthiest foods, what are the healthiest times for eating, it's a very typical question. How does this food or this way of cooking affect the nutrition value of foods? When you empower them in those topics that are so different from what they usually, from the information they usually manage, I see that that's the point where they feel empowered and they take the educational tools that they manage so well and they implement nutrition concepts and the mindful eating concepts very well. So it has a lot to do with basic nutrition concepts that any nutritionist, dietitian, nutrition expert can help them solve so that they feel empowered. A second very common question or concern that we see not only in teachers but also in parents regards what happens if you expose a child to a new food during mealtime, and that is a typical food that a child might not like. Like, are they going to stop eating? Are they going to just stop eating the food that we're offering them and then maybe go hungry and have nutrition issues? Which is something that just, again, with a nutrition expert or a dietitian can explain to them the right way of exposing children to food, to new foods, and that fear can go away.